global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news.
Hello beautiful people, welcome back to our channel. Yusuf Datti Baba, the vice presidential candidate of Labour Party, the running mate to Peter Obi, is back, and you should know that he's back and better. And this time around, he has aired his mind exactly on the injustice going on in Nigeria, how the government of Bola Ahmed Tinubu has really emboldened them. He mentioned names, you know he's very bold. He didn't stop at mentioning names. He mentioned one of the key ministers who have decided, yes, so Wike to be precise, who have decided to play God and become even stronger than the Constitution. He didn't mess words. He also dragged Bola Ahmed Tinubu, giving him a very strong advice that every right-thinking, smart politician should take. But the question now is, will Bola Ahmed Tinubu take that advice? He said so much more that is left for Nigerians themselves to decide what would be their fate in these coming days, months. Don't forget that in just a few months to come, the electionary period will begin in full earnest for 2027. Let's listen to him. We'll come back for more on this.
Legitimately recognized. You see, a sworn-in government needs to be and must be consistent with the constitution of the country. And now, if I were to open the relevant sections to you that we have discussed before, they are at variance with the justice served on Nigeria. So with due respect to the justice system, it is valid to ask, did the custodians of the law do the lawful? And the answer is simply no. We do recognize that the courts have the power to do all and everything, but that all and everything must be justice. The sworn-in Tinubu-Shetima government does not strictly comply with the Nigerian constitution as it were today. So it is not out of place for any objective mind to still call it unconstitutional. Mildly, one could say it is questionably constitutional. But then here's the big rejoinder to it. 9 out of 16 Nigerian leaders did not buy INEC forms. Yet they served their terms. One of them 9 years, General Gawan, President Babangida 8 years. Nothing could, they were not consistent with the then written constitution because the constitutions were suspended. The point I'm making is that you could be a president, you could be a head of state, you could be a leader, you could be a dictator, so long as you're allowed to remain there. And the big point here is that Tinubu was allowed and is allowed to remain there, despite the efforts of people like me. You remember my efforts. I called clearly for Tinubu-Shetima not to be sworn in, and it was legal, it is legitimate. Up to now. Why? I gave my reasons. Then, did the Nigerian constitution have an alternative to that? Yes, of course, very constitutional. Ahmed Lawal could have served to, I think, 8th or 9th of June. And at the point of electing a new Senate president, he acts out the balance of 90 days during which a second or rerun election was to be held because Tinubu-Shetima did not satisfy the demands of the constitution to be sworn in. However, it was allowed. I tried to legitimately form what I called then the Constitutional Crisis Resolution Group. All we had to do was to take 3 documents, the Constitution, INEC results, and the options. Go to Washington, Brussels, London, Addis Ababa, on 29th, occupy Eagle Square. Tinubu will not be there today. And the beauty of stopping injustice is that it will not perpetrate itself. Bad leadership is a virus. What do viruses do? They create more, they become more and more and more. We should have stopped this before it happened, and legitimately so, constitutionally so, irrespective of the powers, the DSS, the police, you simply serve a notice. You see, the word democracy is still having a great deal to be understood. When you have a democracy, it means that at some point in time, the people will come out and be the arbiters themselves. Right now, Nigerian governments are governments because they have the army, they have the police and all those security forces surrounding and protecting them while they misrule. And the Nigerian people have no propensity to really take up their governments. Well, that is the meaning of democracy, that behind the Nigerian army, there is the army of the Nigerian people, whom if you transgress their constitution, they will come out against it. Well, now, bad leadership has realized the incapacity of Nigerians to come together and protect their rights. That is why I told you that if you cannot practice democracy, for God's sake, democracy is not for you. There were the hunger protests about last year also. But when you have 1,000 people doing what 1 million people should do, they will be trampled. 10 times in the last century, a situation where you have the kind of killings that are happening in Jos, that happen in the United States. The U.S. Army has never bombed its own people. Nigerian Army does.
Yeah, but the circumstances are different.
No, look.
I mean, the Nigeria is fighting an insurgency, America isn't.
Yes, but you have all sorts of crimes and uprisings. The analogy of the example between Nigeria and the United States in this particular context is not that relevant, if you see what I mean. We have a hunter that has promised us for 12 years that when they ride out the Jonathan's government, there will be automatic security come with it. There will be automatic peace come with it. The economy will improve. The whole idea behind APC was a lie, is a lie. What did we notice when Buhari came in? Aggravated corruption, like never thought before. New dimensions to insecurity that you have been reporting. Shortly, the quality of leadership in Nigeria has fallen to the ground. I'll quickly give you 2 examples. I'm not making it up. There is electronic evidence everywhere. A highly placed official of this government said, let everywhere burn. And the next day there were bombings in that state. A serving minister said, let the whole place burn. Please, go back to the 1980s, during President Babangida's time. A military governor just made a passing statement that if he were in service in 1966, he would have joined the coup. Immediately relieved of his commissioning, and that was it. Immediately. This minister who said, let the whole place burn, right now is waxing stronger and stronger and stronger in government. The Nigerian people are not calling for his head because he's too rich, he's too powerful. The president and the vice presidents are so incompetent, they are carried away by their 2027 agenda and the relationship between themselves, that they cannot call a highly placed cabinet member who says, let the whole place burn, for God's sake. Is this leadership? Is this the kind of leader you should have? He is so powerful that, as I speak here, I should be concerned of what he can do and he can't do. Is this leadership? Or is this brigandage? Well, I'll give you another example of how bad leadership has become, the way leaders think. Peter Obi gave scholarship, together with me, gave scholarship to a 17-year-old tricycle rider who returned 15 million pounds. And another elected official stood up and donated 250 million. $250 million, because Peter Obi and I gave scholarship, thinking that money is all about it. Why wouldn't such people go and steal the resources of their country, or of their states, or of their country? Leadership has crashed. The quality has crashed.
Well, let me take
rule of law. Rule of law means nothing.
Sure.
Now in Nigeria, justice, okay, can be twisted to fit anything, to the extent that even when the Constitution clearly spells out, the justice system can turn justice into injustice because there is nothing the people can do. Well, you're Nigerians. The message is, look, you're Nigerians. You cannot come out. You cannot challenge. You cannot defend your democracy. So we will do. Conflict is in APC, not in any other party. Why were powers not transferred to Shetima before Tinubu traveled out? Ask that question. That is what I call the moment we come to where, be it Peter Obi, be it another candidate that is presented, and I sure hope it's Peter Obi, I'm still with him, that is presented in this party, they will elect Peter Obi, and the problems of Abure and others, which are too tedious for you and I to chat here, will immediately dissipate. But real problem now is within the misruling party in Nigeria. You have a president that is out there frequently for long spells, and you have a vice here who hardly knows his left from his right, who has so many questions to answer about the desperation of politicians to get to power, about things that you and I really, really can finally get the liver to discuss. That is where problem is, and that's why I've told you that the quality of leadership in Nigeria has fallen to the ground. That is why anything goes. NPC is a disaster upon Nigeria. Why do you want to form another coalition?
So you don't support the coalition?
Listen, I've not finished. I'm in support of unity. I'm in support of forces coming together. So I'm in support of coalition, not the APC type of coalition. The second part of my answer to you, Labour Party was not a coalition. Yet we presented credible data to the Nigerian courts that we scored over 10 million votes over and above. When the candidates are presented, when they run their campaign, and when we meet at the ballot box, that is when you know what a party you're dealing with. And
right.
If you remember, I always wanted us, to be underestimated. Until we beat them and they immediately switched off IREV, until they wrote all the results and they changed and all that they did. The same and even better. I expect Tinubu to throw in the towel if he is that smart politician that he turns out to be. You know me, I say the truth. For someone to have organized 2007, culminating in his electoral heist in 2023, that person must be super smart politician. I'm not praising him at all. It's not good to be what really he is that I don't want to say. But look, he skipped 2007 and jokingly made Atiku candidate, made Ribadu and somebody 11, made Buhari in 15, Buhari won, and then skipped 2019 and then stole 2023. If he is that smart, everything is there for him that he's going to lose 2027. If he is that smart, because everything is there. There are two possible candidates that I cannot mention, and they are the nemesis of Tinubu. Tinubu's time has come. It has been proven that APC is a lie. Buhari did not develop Nigeria. Buhari did not provide security. Buhari did not fight corruption. Neither will Tinubu ever do this. So going forward, I see APC losing this election. I see Nigerians somehow uniting. Listening to what someone like me is saying that, look, if you cannot practice this democracy, it's not for you. And then Nigerians will decide to come out and practice democracy for the first time. And then bad leadership will begin to have no hiding place in Nigeria. And then gradually we'll begin to heal our land. We'll begin to recover. We'll begin to unite